Xendrius on YouTube.
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right.
It's quite interesting, actually. I had a YouTube channel for a while. It was never so large. I had 738,000 subscribers. It took me a long time to build it up. I got a strike on YouTube, which prevented me from posting. It's got a strike, no big deal. The next day, Meta took me down, deleted my Facebook and my Instagram. The press came out at exactly the same time, in sync, saying that I'm a misogynistic, dangerous person, that I'm harmful, that I am the reason that the world is not a perfect place, world hunger, you name it, all my fault. Attacked me across all of this, and I thought, okay, let me film a message that I can get out on my YouTube, my final message, which I don't know if you guys have seen. I ended up putting on freetopg.com. Let me film my final message explaining how this is unfair and unjust. We filmed it, we produced it, we got it all edited within 12 hours, head to toe ready to go, but we couldn't post it because of the YouTube strike. So we're waiting for the YouTube strike to expire. A few hours before the YouTube strike expires, guess what happens? They banned me from YouTube. Then they banned me from Discord. Then they banned me from Airbnb. They banned me from Stripe. I can't even remember.
Airbnb?
It was just emails coming in faster than you could believe. Ban.
So it wasn't just the socials.
Oh, no, the Matrix presses a button, my friend.
Yeah.
And every app on your phone stops working. Uber. You name it. Uber.
Stop.
You name it.
Wait, you can't use Uber?
Well, I can use Uber. You just start a new account, right? But
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Uber. Catch me. But
yeah. Your main account on Uber was taken.
They take everything from you.
Everything. Coordinated effort all at once.
Coordinated effort all at once. Every single one of them just goes no. Delete, and they come at you with everything.
And Stripe.
Banks.
Payment processing.
Oh, and banks. UK-based banks as well.
So even me as an individual, I'm sitting here now and analyzing and thinking, if I carry on at the trajectory I'm carrying on, they're gonna put me in jail because I'm too influential and I'm too dangerous. And they've tried to get me to sell my soul. I'm not gonna give too many stories, but on multiple occasions, they've tried to get me to sign contracts and offer me a bunch of money to shut up and agree to this and agree to that, and I won't do it. So now they're sitting there going, okay, there's this person with massive influence, perhaps the most influential man in the world. We've offered him to sell his soul so we can control him. He won't do it. He can influence things massively. He is a wild card. What do we do about this person? And they sit and they go, okay, well, accuse him of something, put him in jail. And if that doesn't work, then it's like, oops, car crash.
The Matrix has attacked me.
This way? No.
Appreciate it.
Trying to frame me, but God knows the truth. There's no evidence in my files. I've done nothing wrong. Everybody knows I'm innocent.
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have claimed there is no evidence against them as they remain detained in Romania.
If you had control of the world and you spent huge resource and energy on media machines to make people think a certain way, and somebody like me came along and made everybody not listen, would you like that person? Would you want that person to continue to talk?
Still pursuing his ridiculous crusade.
So in the movie The Matrix, your body heat is being salvaged, and to keep your mind occupied, you're living inside of a false reality, computer generated. The reason I think we live in a matrix now is because I think the same thing is happening. Perhaps it's not our body heat, perhaps it's our work, our ideas, but they're being salvaged, and the reality they've given us to occupy our brains is false. We don't live in the real world. We are living in a reality where we're told stories and narratives that aren't true, where they try very hard to distract us with garbage. They've installed the new program. First it was or whatever it was. Now it's Andrew, Slava Ukraine, goes on and on, whatever the new fucking story is. Andrew's the enemy right now. And they don't even know why they feel how they feel. And there is a large percentage of the population walking through Earth now with opinions that they will fight to the death for, and they don't even know where it came from. And they don't even know why they believe it. Right? What did I say at the beginning? The slave programming, the empty mind. People who are going to walk through Earth and repeat that, they have no evidence, they have no proof, they can't tell you why. When you challenge them on it, they get angry because it's been installed in their brain because they're dummies. And when a dummy, you remove and you empty their brain, you install the new programming, they instantly get enraged when they realize their brain short circuits. So in the movie The Matrix, your body heat is being salvaged, and to keep your mind occupied, you're living inside of a false reality, computer generated. The reason I think we live in a matrix now is because I think the same thing is happening. Perhaps it's not our body heat, perhaps it's our work, our ideas, but they're being salvaged, and the reality they've given us to occupy our brains is false. We don't live in the real world. We are living in a reality where we're told stories and narratives that aren't true, where they try very hard to distract us with garbage. They've distracted you with this idol, whoever it happens to be. Put them there, and the peasant's like, yeah. And then they go home, and they're told something by the news. Let's make up a completely false scenario. Be afraid of the common cold. Okay, and then anyone who comes back and says, why are we afraid of the common cold? They delete their point of view. They shut them up to create a false reality. So people are living a life where they're working a job, they're being enslaved by the machines for their tasks, but their mind is distracted by garbage and only fed a fake story, and they're living inside of a computer-generated simulation. They're living inside of a world that is not real. They don't live in a real world. A lot of people live inside of the Matrix completely. I think that absolute slavery and tyranny is coming to the entire world. I think our children's children will live as slaves. I think the idea of social mobility will be absolutely and utterly destroyed. You're going to be born into a class, and that's where you're going to belong and stay. If you say the wrong thing or think the wrong thing, you're going to be punished for it. And I think this is one of our last chances to fight, and I think it's a battle of good versus evil. It's genuinely God against the demons, and I know that I'm on the side of God, and I'm a strictly religious person, and I couldn't live with myself if I didn't talk. And if God decides that I have to be martyred for that, then that's his decision. So am I going to sell my soul and live longer and have less of an impact on the world and know that I'm aiding the devil in its intentions, or am I going to live a shorter amount of time and do my absolute best to be a positive force for the world and be remembered as such?
This is the battle of good versus evil, and anybody who's sitting who doesn't see that every armed conflict on the planet, the conflict for our minds, the way the Matrix is attempting to control us, this is genuinely a battle of God versus Satan. And if you think that you can just sit idly by while these two titans go to war and you're not going to end up caught up in the crossfire, then you're absolutely and utterly ignorant at best, a coward at worst, and I think it's most likely cowardice. We're in the middle of the greatest battle that humankind has ever faced, and unless people stand up and actually try and fight hard for good and for God, then we're going to end up in absolute tyrannical slavery. If all of the news you read is written by one person and they don't allow opposing viewpoints to exist, then they control and create a reality which is not real. And that's why I call it the Matrix. They sit there and they tell you this is true, this is true. Anyone who says it's not true is deleted. This is the only version of reality we're going to allow to exist. And they're purporting a false reality into our minds to control us. That's why it's called the Matrix. I'm an individual which they do not control. I have mass influence over the population of Earth.
Yeah.
And when you have somebody like me who is principled, who has morals, who believes in God, who will not sell their soul, will not promote degeneracy, who also has mass influence, they see me as a threat because they say there are certain agendas which he will not promote because of his morality.
Right.
And we need immoral people who have sold their souls absolutely and completely, so they'll enforce the slave programming amongst the population. So they see me as a threat because of my mass influence. And me being positive in and of itself is also a threat to the establishment because they don't want people to be happy. They want you to be semi-depressed and sad and miserable. You have two choices. Either you understand what's happening in the world today and you're on the side of good and you're fighting against the Matrix, or you've accepted all the Matrix programming to pretend that there is no battle, and then by extension you're going to end up fighting against your own mind. And you're going to be in a fight either way. There is no way to avoid this. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to have control of your own mind and control of yourself and fight for God and fight on the side of good against evil? Or do you want to accept the evil programming, fall down a hole of degeneracy and fight against yourself and self-destruct and implode? That's your choice to make.